of today, we'll be casting the top bots versus Free Agent 2 best of 1. Now we have a stand-in coming in for top bots. It's going to be none other than our friend and long-time Dota veteran Vicromon, Phlogiston mode. Of course, my name is Permasneeze and I'm joined by Benji, your new favorite streamer and stats man. So I think the teams are ready to go, so without further ado, we're going to be jumping into the action. I believe we've already been on for close to 12-15 minutes. Darn, can't pass up a chance to try and kill Rex. Damn, Gabe, relentless. Oh, Livoshka, hello. Yeah, so probably when the game starts, I'm not sure how much I'll be responding to chat, but we will try our best, and especially since there's a 5-minute delay, so it might be a little hard as we get into the coin flip. Benji, what are you hoping to see in this game?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me what I was hoping to see in the coin flip.
No, why? That literally is like a yes or no question. That would be horrendous.
Well, in this game, I'm hoping to see a lot of some mind games. Obviously, these teams already played 2 games previously. This is game 3, had to be rescheduled, but happening now. So I'm hoping to see some in-draft shenanigans. I'm hoping to see a nice, I mean, not too long, but a nice long game. And above all else, I want to see lots of kills.
Yeah, and I think
That's what I'm hoping.
me and you, we took a look at their previous games, like the game 1 and the game 2 that they played, of course, at an earlier date. And one thing is for certain, these players like to pick exciting heroes. No resident sleeper ODs, nothing like that. We got the CKs, we got the Gyros, we got the Tinies, we got Leshrax running it in, and there's even like Sniper, Naga. It sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
I'm a huge sniper enjoyer.
Yeah, I know this.
I'm hoping for that hero again. That's what it is.
I don't know whether
that would be a treat.
No, they literally lost with it in game 1, so I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna go there. So the coin flip result is in. Of course, top bots have first priority. They have picked second pick for themselves, and Free Agent pick Radiant. So pretty standard stuff. Nothing that really causes you to scratch your head as we get into game number 1 and the sole final deciding game between Free Agent 2 and top bots to decide who will take this series. This is the WLDL 2021. We've been on a bit of a hiatus. Sorry for that. Actually, I mean, life happens, right? But at least we're back with more exciting games, and I can't think of a better one than this one based on the past history that I've seen, Benj.
Neither. I'm looking forward to it as we get into this draft. Quickly before any of the bands come in, these 2 logos are looking pretty nice. Both teams clearly put an effort in, their presentation. Loving that FA2 logo, got the backwards F on the side of the A. And then for top bots, they go with a little, I believe that's Futurama. I don't watch it, but I think I recognize that from Futurama. And then top bots in pretty standard lettering at the top. So.
Yeah, I'm surprised. First man sniper. Wait, they really respect it that much? It was Boots who was playing it on Free Agent 2, I think. But yeah, I mean, first man sniper is pretty. I mean, sucks for you, Bench, because you can't see the hero that you want. But like we said, I think Gabe Gonzo in chat is saying, I hope they did hella research. I mean, both teams had a lot of time to really analyze and break down the past 2 games that they played. And we're seeing that come to fruition, right? Undying and Wind Ranger, both heroes that were previously picked in the first 2 games, banned out. And there's a Necro ban and a Sniper ban as well.
Yeah, so this is actually the exact same opening from Free Agent 2. From Top Bots is in their second game. They opened with the Sniper ban into the Necro ban. Free Agent 2 switching up a bit. In that game 2, they banned Batrider Viper. They go a different route, Undying Wind Ranger, and pick up the Venge for themselves. Which they also played in that game 2. Played it on Pistol PD. I believe it was a 4-position Venge.
So it might have been a couple of weeks, but the teams, obviously, the strategy is still fresh in their minds. It's clear that they still did kind of a lot of groundwork to try and figure out what is the thing that's going to give them the edge over their opponents. And it sounds like we're set up for a pretty exciting match coming in. Warlock first pick, not really a hero you expect to see very often. the only kind of use case I can think of Warlock, there are only two, right? The first one is you need a long-range BKB piercing stun. Biggest thing that comes to mind, something like an Enigma Black Hole, you always have the Warlock Rock to drop it onto his head and cancel it. There's literally no counterplay. And the other thing is, if you're planning on picking a relatively weak early laner as a position 1, right? But even in that case, there's a lot of other heroes that can kind of secure that early lane. Something like an Ogre Magi, right? Something like a... Yeah, right? So this is a bit of a curious pick. It might tell us a bit about their strategy. What do you think, Benj?
It could also just be a comfort pick. You know, just they potentially have a player. I'm not entirely sure who is their 5 position. I believe it is Mr. Pianic. And yeah, it could just be a pretty
comfort
pretty
hero,
safe pick for them, something that they're comfortable with. And they also go with the Viper, which is, as I mentioned, one of the heroes that Free Agent 2 banned out first phase in that game too. So clearly one that they're slightly afraid of, but letting top bots take it first phase here, most likely going to be. I don't know. It can be flex between, I guess, like offlane and mid. You probably don't want it anywhere else. It doesn't really fit as a support hero. Safe lane, it's a little bit unreliable.
No, so I think the reason why you pick it so early on is just because of the fact that it applies so much pressure. The first thing is you pick the Venge, right? Even though the Venge has a lot of utility throughout the early mid game in the team fight, swapping someone out, saving them. Not the best laner unless paired with a very specific lane partner, right? So if you play on POS 4 or POS, or rather if you play in POS 5 or if you play in just in general, it's kind of free pickings for the Viper. Like, it can't really do anything to Viper. Like, you need your swap to really try and put the Viper out of position. But then there's the answer of the Warlock dropping the Golem right on top of the team, right? So it can get really scary, and I think Viper is a nice little sort of locking in a bit of early lane dominance. But speaking of lane dominance, we have Jakiro picked up the most popular hero the last time we checked in the entire WLDL.
Give me 1 second. I can fact check you on that.
Okay, I will give you 1 second.
Okay, maybe slightly more than 1 second. It is still, in fact, the most played hero. 71 games of Jakiro have been played.
Yeah.
5 ahead of the next most, which is Ogre.
Okay. I mean, I don't think we're gonna be seeing Ogre this game. I mean, I wouldn't be too mad if we did see it, but it would feel like, I mean, I guess it would have to be top bots that pick it, and then their draft would feel a little bit strange. But for now, speaking of the draft, of the bans coming out, PA banned out for free agents, while top bots have banned out the PL.
PL, very annoying hero. I remember, if you're in a game and there's just a PL open, you just don't want to. You don't even want to have to think about dealing with it. PA also kind of fits into that category, I think. Just like these carry heroes that sometimes when you play against them, it feels like you can just do absolutely nothing. And both teams, you know, steering clear of that. They want it to be a normal game. They don't want to get cheesed, as we see now, Huskar ban coming out. You know.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
fighting.
Yeah, so both teams, what I can respect is both teams have picked very straightforward heroes. There's no so far it's all just respect back and forth, right? Both teams picking up heroes that just do their jobs and do them plainly and simply. No sneaky tricks, no invisibility, no running around and doing some funky stuff. It's literally just stuns, spell damage, slow. This guy's gonna win the lane. This guy's gonna hit. You know, it's all very straightforward stuff. They're sticking to relatively easy execution so far, right?
Yeah. You know, we say it a lot, but ease of execution goes a long way.
I mean, second phase bans is always the curious bit, right? Because I think we had a bit of our own foray into drafting as well, when obviously you were still playing on the anchors. Unfortunately, the time for the anchors is over, and that's why Vicro is on this team now. But I mean, back when, you know, you were still trying to come out with these drafts with the help of Chio Lestrange, of course, shout out Chio Lestrange, the second phase is always the weird bit, because you kind of need to ban setting up for what will basically define your team composition, right? Like we said, right now FA2 and top bots, the first 2 picks, pretty nothing really sticks out, nothing really special. They're all kind of cookie cutter standard heroes. And the Mirana picked up, pretty interesting, because they don't actually have a setup for the arrow at the moment.
So maybe that's something that you could be seeing as their pick going into the third ban phase. Could be seeing, I mean, all the classic ones we see, stuff like SD Mirana, probably not going to work into this lineup. So it'd have to be a core setting up. Potentially something like Tiny. Nothing feels that great.
Right? Like, I feel like these drafts have... I mean, okay, so top bots, their last two picks are going to have to be really killer for me because right now I'm just not feeling their draft. Like, the Viper wins lane, but okay, so Tidehunter, this is a really good pick for them because it can just completely shrug off anything the Warlock wants to do. The same thing with the Mirana. Even if you land an arrow on him, once you start tacking on that damage, that's where he can just Kraken Shell it off. Now, there is the consideration that the Viper Nether Toxin can break the Kraken Shell, but I honestly wouldn't, like, I don't think that's like, oh my god, he's countered, you know. Obviously, they feel strong enough to pick it for themselves in this off lane, and they don't really feel threatened at the moment.
Yeah, even so, if you get this Nether Toxin breaking the Tide, you still have a Venge swap behind. So, I mean, this seems like a pretty nice Tide game at the moment. They go for Drow.
Drow Venge, baby. The armor is gonna get torn to shreds, and right now, I don't see anyone that can get on top of this Drow, especially not with an Ice Path, Swap, Venge, and a Tide standing in between the rest of the team.
Yeah, I'm liking what Free Agent 2 have got going so far, but Top still have to. This is the problem with picking this Drow in this phase. You have
absolutely
a free pick now for Top to counter it, and then also, even though Free Agent get like 2 bans to cover it, still ultimate last pick for the Top bot. So we'll see if they can take advantage of this, because it feels like they do need a lot for their lineup at the moment.
So here's the cool thing right now. You have a Warlock in lane who is very, very passive, and you need to pick a safe laner that can somewhat punish the Tide. But this safe laner also needs to be able to kill and jump the Drow, and this is literally the safe laner who can do it. You were talking about it, Benji. You're hyping this hero up, and I know you have some experience on him yourself.
Oh, he feels very strong at the moment. Getting the 15-minute shard just accelerates your game massively. The prevalence of items like Silver Edge, the crit, Echo Saber, just make this hero so strong, I think.
Okay.
We mentioned it's not great setup for Mirana, but it's decent. I like the Tiny pick. I'm excited to see how Top bots will round off their draft, because I assume this is safe lane Tiny.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Tiny very strong hero right now. I do fear for him though, because I feel like there's a lot of glaring issues right now. It obviously, to me, is one of the better picks they could have gone for, but still, once again, Tiny, not a hero that has a lot of natural armor, relies on the grow for that, and Drow is just gonna do that much more damage with the marksmanship procs, right? On top of that, they also have the minus armor from the Tidehunter, and Jakiro...
Venge minus armor.
Yeah, Jakiro and Venge aren't like the squishiest supports, right? Venge can kind of get a little tanky, especially with some items that she likes to get, like drums and even the Aghanim's, and Jakiro is just quite a tanky hero overall, so the burst potential might take a while for Tiny to get to, and right now it feels like top bots, they don't really have someone who can get something done, right? That's why we see Free Agent, they're banning out the Bat Rider, which Vicro already played, and the Invoker as well for the scary Alacrity steroid.
Interesting to see Quap still uncontested. I think that's a very good hero this patch, and I think it's pretty good for both teams here. It's a nice active hero, and they're about the Ember.
Yeah, I think banning the spirits is the right way to go about it, because as much as Free Agent, they have a nice little ball up and push lineup, they don't actually have any catch at the moment. They're going to rely on the Venge swap, but they want that for the Drow Ranger, right? So having someone like a Spirit, Void Spirit, Storm Spirit, Ember Spirit all fit the bill. I want to say someone like a Puck kind of can go absolutely bonkers here and can really benefit from the minus armor as well. Puck can transition into a bit of a right clicker now. So because with the nerf to the right with the okay, so basically in the recent patch, Puck, the spell amp talent got completely nerfed, so it doesn't really feel good to go spell burst anymore, but it's also usually pretty awkward. Okay, so it's gonna be a Queen of Pain, another hero that can really benefit from the Drow marksmanship aura as well as the Venge, and it's just gonna be that extra damage that they need on top of the Ravage, right?
Yeah, I mentioned the Quap. I think it would have been good for top bots as well. Maybe they were perhaps looking at it. But yeah, really nice hero. I think it's still very strong. The shard, so many items that are good on it, and it's up to top bots to respond. I'm not entirely sure what can crush a Quap in lane.
I am
Lina? How's the Lina matchup?
no okay. So I mean they could put the Viper mid, right? And then they could pick
That's
an
true,
offlaner
actually.
as well. That is still a bit flexible, and that's why we saw top bots try opt for this Viper earlier on. They want to secure it for its flex potential, and this is something that I mean you're familiar with. Chio loves to do this for the drafts, right? Pick a bit of an ambiguous hero in the first two, and then try and figure something out by the end of it. But right now we are more than likely looking for what will be the Vicro hero in the mid lane. I mean, of course they have a lot of time to. If you had to call one pick right now, like the prophet that you are, what would it be? I say Void Spirit.
Void Spirit is nice.
Oh, actually, no. I lie. Like Void Spirit into like you use yourself to cancel the silence and then you jump straight into an ice path. That's not very fun. Actually, it's not that bad. It's not that
I'm
bad.
thinking about something kind of tanky. Something like a Timber mid, I think would be quite nice.
Timber mid versus Drow though. But I guess he can eat up like the rest of the entire team, right? Because he doesn't care about anyone other than Drow.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here.
But then the team fight from top bots is so hard, right? Because how do you even start a fight? You kind of need to rely on the Timber to run in by himself, and then you commit spells on him, and then you drop the rock, and then actually could be pretty disgusting with the Warlock Fatal Bonds. Now that you're mentioning it.
Yeah, I mean the fight starting is a good point that you bring up.
Yeah, they don't really have that at the moment. Like, I mean, in terms of how rounded out the draft looks, Free Agent 2 definitely seem like they're on top of that. Top bots are really gonna need a killer pick to pull it all together here. That is not what I expected, but I'm not mad about it.
Let me tell you, global team fight presence. You just whack down that Fiend's Gate anywhere, and it's interesting. So it looks like it's going to be the Vicro Tiny, Dougal on the Viper. So what are the lanes here? Is this carry Mirana?
Okay, whatever it is, I think that this is a very curious underlord pick, and I'm very excited to see what they think because my read, right, it might be either carry Viper or carry Tiny. We'll see. Maybe they swap around. But my read is that they pick this underlord because oh, we're being bombed by some. Okay, yeah. My read is that they pick this underlord because of they want to root this Queen of Pain, right? They're like, oh no, we don't have any catch for this Queen of Pain at the moment. Let's get Underlord. She can't actually fight into the pit. Now, the main thing right now is that it's complete ass versus Drow.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it did feel like top bots needed a lot of answers with this last pick. I like the Underlord. I'm just not sure how many of those questions it answers. And I think I'm liking Free Agent 2's draft a little bit more. I'm still hesitant to see how top bots are going to set up these lanes. We've seen them be very open to switching positions. They don't have really set positions, so this could be carry Tiny, mid Tiny. The Mirana could be support, could even be, thrust into a core role. Viper most likely going to be a core, so we'll see where that ends up, They have quite a lot of options. I'm just not sure all of them are good.
Yeah, I just feel like top bots, they've drafted themselves an immensely static draft. And I don't know how well that works with the Tiny, right? Because the Tiny is going to hit this power spike. He's going to want to get rolling. And I don't know who's going to be there to help him. But we're going to have to find out as we get into the deciding game between Free Agent 2 as well as top bots. Of course, you're here with me, Permasneeze, and I'm joined by my favorite stats man, and he's about to be yours, Benji. So thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, no problem. So excited to get into this game. Should we run down some of the players? I'll start with Free Agent 2. First of all, we have Mr. Boots taking the crop to the mid lane. Krios, I believe is how you pronounce that. I actually don't know. Starting off with Bracer Tango.
I'm going to say,
the big
Krios sounds correct.
Yeah. We got Chucky Rowe. No cosmetics on a Jakiro, but that's fine.
Wait, is there a play on Jakiro?
Like,
right?
It might, yeah. The Jakiro. Yeah. I didn't realize that. Thank you for. That's why you're the play-by-play.
Smile.
We got Pistol PD on this vengeful spirit, and then finally carrying it, gold tier Drow with the Arcana for Captain Shack Sparrow.
picking a Siggy for himself here. Has a nice little fit as well. I'll go on and introduce the side of the top bots. Of course, we have Dougal piloting the Viper in the mid lane. We have Pianic on that position 5 Warlock. Not a hero we see very often, but we're going to see what he can make work with it. We have one Anchor's very own Vicromon on this carry Tiny is what it looks like. And Rex Cow, of course, one of the big members in the community on his Mirana. And last but not least, this Underlord last pick piloted by Spenguin. It's a curious pick for sure, but I'm interested to see how this works because you know me, I'm a big Underlord fan, and I want to see how other people are using this new ability, Fiendscape.
Yeah, I mean, it's one that can go well, but it can also go disastrously wrong.
Speaking of
it's
disastrous,
a real boomer bust ulti.
Yeah, Dougal tanking quite a bit of damage early on from
That's
the
not
tree.
Disastrous.
I mean, it's about to be disastrous, but not for Dougal anymore. Pistol PD. You might have run up a bit too far, my friend. Pops the Fairy Fire, but that's 5 stacks of that poison attack. Pistol PD survives with that Fairy Fire pop and the Tango, but it's more than likely gonna have to pop that self to even come back into lane here.
Yeah, I mean, luckily his laning partner is a Tide, so shouldn't be able to be pressured too much at the moment while Pistol PD takes the time to recover. So, okay, we're gonna get a quick pause, and I was just about to ask you. So, how do we see these lanes going?
Right. So, isn't this like the scariest lane for Underlord? Cause like I'm thinking as an Underlord player, and I see like a Drow who can just auto attack me from range. Like, let's not even talk about the game counter, right? Like, even in lane, especially with the amount of magic damage can come out, Rex is not going to be able to do anything. The second he throws an arrow and it doesn't land, it's curtains for Spenguin. Like, he actually has to ditch, right?
I mean, yeah, it's just the harass coming out from both Drow and Jakiro is just like pretty disgusting.
Yeah, I actually have no idea what they're gonna try and do to counteract that. Like I think Rex, he's gonna have to hit some god tier arrows to really put the pressure in, because if he can land an arrow, for example, on the Drow trying to get a deny or last hit, and then Spenguin can get the full duration of a Firestorm, that's where Shaq is gonna start running out of resources to stand in that lane, right? Because even though you start to walk up and auto attack, you kind of need to make your way past the Firestorm. If you're always sitting at full HP, that's not gonna be an issue. But if you're low, there's a real chance that they turn it on you with a nice Starstorm.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see Rex Cow taking a little tower shot, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And then up in this top lane, do you think Viker's going to get... he's already pouring in the damage onto Chris with this early tree grab. That's what it's called, isn't it? Like the actual ability. Because I always hover over it, and it says tree throw, but that's the only way it's got it. It's tree grab, that's right.
Yeah. He has, so the current status of the tree is that it has been grabbed, but basically that opens up the option of potentially throwing it. Now that the tree it didn't get thrown, but it has expired, which means that now in around 13 seconds he can once again use his tiny little Rockman arms and grab a tree. So hope that helps.
Indeed, thank you for explaining that to me.
Yeah, no worries, no worries.
But yeah, so my question is, do you think that like any kills are gonna happen in this lane? Because Tiny and Tide seem like pretty strong laners. So I don't know. I just don't really foresee that much action.
I think
if one of them overextends.
Yeah, I think if there's any kill, it's gonna be on this Warlock if he starts walking up in. Once there's high levels in like this Gush, or if he chooses to get the Gush, this Warlock can really start to get under threat. But one thing we haven't talked about so far is this mid lane. Now, I'm of the impression that Viper wins this pretty easily.
Yeah.
Because the Queen of Pain can't actually get close, right?
Yeah, once you start getting those levels up in poison attack, as Dougal's going for, it's just so hard to walk up. You just get hit. You know, you can use your blink to get out, but then
and then that means you can't walk up into the lane anymore,
and you can't walk back up. Yeah.
And I mean, the strat for Boots is going to continuously be like pushing out these waves. I don't know whether I like this build. Doesn't go for a blink, but you know, the confidence, thinking that, you know, I'm not going to be in that situation, so I'll be okay. And the high levels in Scream means that the wave keeps getting pushed out and the Viper can't apply any pressure.
Yeah. As we see down bot, it seems like Captain Jack Sparrow on this Drow is having a pretty nice time at the moment.
Yeah, no real threat coming in.
Yeah. Doesn't look like they've been able to really make much happen on the side of top bots in this lane. So
Boots.
Looks like a nice start.
Boots doesn't have mana for a blink here, trying to bottle up, but here comes the poison attacks, but first lane, Vicro finds it, but swiftly followed up Dougal, not to be outdone. Dougal, sorry.
Yeah.
As the top bots take kills on both lanes.
Vicro getting that first blood is
that's
very
huge.
nice for his lane. He got a nice two hero avalanche now, and it's looking pretty nice. He's gonna get Boots ferried out to him, has the wand completed as well, flying out in the courier. And yeah, as you mentioned in the mid lane, that kill very nice for Dougal. He's already got 3/4 of a level advantage.
Yeah, and I mean,
matchup,
so one of the main downsides as Queen of Pain is like you either draw the lane or you win it, right? So Boots has found himself in a precarious position because now he is at the brink of losing the lane. Even if you continue to shove out the wave over and over with Scream, you're just feeding Dougal with free XP, right? The second he hits 6, he can rotate to a lane and actually make something happen. It's like we were talking about, oh, you know, this top box lineup is so static, but when you have a lead, you can just kind of go wherever you want, and it's not like Queen of Pain is going to do the most tower damage, right?
Oh, Pizzle PD? No, he's not going to find a second courier. And Vicro's not going to be too displeased about that. I mean, his courier already delivered his items, did the job, so
yep,
not too big of a hit there. But yeah, what you mentioned about this this mid lane, interesting to see the Viper go for a bottle. Is this a typical purchase, or is this just sort of a I want to win my lane very hard, so I'm going to get the bottle, get the runes, you know,
I think
stay
it's
full health.
I think it's completely fine just because of the fact that he's dominating. Usually you wouldn't against the Queen of Pain because the Queen of Pain can just beat you to the runes. But with how much lane control that Dougal has, I'm not too surprised about this. Like, this is a smart purchase as well, and it keeps him topped up. The one thing he has to worry about is that chip damage from the creeps as well as the Shadow Strike. But with this bottle, he doesn't have to worry about ever running out of mana for poison attack as well.
Yeah, and he's having a nice time. Already hit the 6. He's actually going to go ahead and put that point into Viper Strike. Sometimes we see
the max poison attack, right?
Yeah, instead of going for Viper Strikes. It's kind of a little bit, it's very situational, but he's going for it. And as you can see out of these early sort of few minutes in the lane, it looks like Viper is really having, I don't want to say the freest time of his life, but it's pretty free lane. He's 27-9 to the 12 last hits of the Tide. He's having a wonderful time down here.
Yeah, if you look at the price tag attached to Vicro's time in this game right now, you'll find that it is almost, the price is almost free. Now, there might be a price to trying to contest Pianic's pull over here. Chris tanking a bit of damage. Has that bracer to work with, but not a lot of life. Tossed back, that's the Kraken Shell popping, but the last hit should be there from Vicro, and he takes the kill out. There might be return though. Pianic has that stick, but the hit is enough from Pistol PD. The punches come out, and they trade one for one. No, he's not gonna do it. He's not gonna do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, still
pretty nice,
everything looking pretty cute for this Tiny, yeah.
Yeah. He's not really... I mean, he's going to approach, once he gets that first level and grow, he's going to be pretty immovable in this lane. I mean, he's pretty immovable right now at the moment, to be honest. Like, I don't see any way they sort of kill him.
Yeah, and this kind of goes back to what we were saying, right? Like, the Venger's weakness in this lane. Like, even a Warlock is outdoing you. That's kind of... You kind of got to go back to the drawing board a little bit with this one. If a Warlock is outlaning you, that's not a good look. But yeah, once again, Boots being forced out of lane, I believe. Yeah, being forced out of lane by Dougal. So, firm control of this Viper. I'm going to be interested to see what he opts for because I feel like this momentum is going to be very important to seeing how this game goes.
I think it would be good for Boots to try and make a move here. Has hit 6.
Has the Sonic Wave, yeah.
Can easily blow up one of these heroes on. Probably you want to head down to the bot lane.
Yep, TPing
and
is
in
there.
Fact, making his move right there.
Spenguin
should be dead.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's...
At the same time, Vicro finds a kill up top.
Yeah, I mean, just once again, like the Tiny hitting level 6, making it look easy. And I also just want to say that, like, I'm surprised that is Penguin's first death. With how strong this lane is supposed to be. I mean, yes, the Drow has a pretty significant net worth advantage, but he's still managing to keep up pretty well himself.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this Drow's had a pretty safe time. Maybe, as you mentioned, has not been pushing the advantage quite as...
Yeah, but it's not that big of a deal, right? Like, because even later in the stage, like, it's not like, like, oh no, Underlord, he's gonna ruin me. It's like, no, you just eat him alive. Like, regardless.
Just wanted to point out that Boots has boots now. So
Beautiful.
on brand.
Yeah, very on brand. Now he
Mhm.
just needs a second one just to really emphasize the plural on that.
Yeah, because that's true. Because there's
Oh,
only one boot in the picture.
this
What
is
were you
kind
what were you,
of
what were you gonna point out?
this is kind of
Truce
significant
said
for.
again. I'm pretty sure.
Is he?
Yeah.
Cruz, yeah. I mean, the Kraken shell is not gonna 3 levels in it, but I don't know whether that is the play. I can't help but feel like a single level in Gush can actually help them threaten Pianic here, but instead they just get run down by this Tiny, and he's off to a hot start.
Yeah, and an interesting item build. He's got the Orchid currently queued up. Maybe worried about the
I think it's the
in this
co-op.
early
I think
game?
it's the co-op.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, as we saw in the patch, Orchid is now most definitely not a mid intelligence hero item. It's a carry item, really.
For sure.
Obviously, some really nice stats, and yeah, excited to see this maybe slightly unorthodox build from Viking.
Yeah, I mean, usually what you see is what the Echo Saber into Silver Edge, and then you get the 15-minute shot. Okay.
Taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's happening again. It's exactly what we said.
This is the Drogic hero.
Yeah, the nice ward over here gives
Very
them vision
strong.
over the tree line, and they're able to get that last hit off. You know, we've been raving a lot about Vicro in that top lane, but Shaq Sparrow, you know, he's picked himself his signature Drow, and he is rolling with it as well. So, I mean, a carry-to-carry matchup, Drow and, as we see some action, Pianic. Oh, it tried for a toss back onto his Viper. Here comes the arrow. Actually hits Krios, but instantly Kraken shell off by that level 3. So they're not going to be able to get much.
Did it hit him?
I think
I
so.
thought it hit the creep.
Because the thing is, the Kraken shell popped. So I just assumed
okay.
like it did prop, but I mean we can go back and check the replay on that one. But yeah.
I wasn't sure because there was a creep like right next to it. So
Right?
not sure if it hit that or not.
Oh, Pianic. That's the stun. Getting a bit too far forward, not a lot of HP to work with, and they're able to pick up a nice recovery kill onto that Warlock. They definitely needed that. And with that, Krios now has the Ravage to work with. It could catch Vicro by surprise here. No,
mean,
look at who's coming. Look at who's coming.
Yeah, this could be really nice if they could kill Vicro here.
Yeah, there's no backup here as well. He's alone and he's feeling strong.
Do they have enough damage though?
Yeah, there it is immediately. He can pop the Ravage, but there's the Avalanche to stop it for now. Vicro. Here comes the stun. Magic missile, the Ravage pop, a little bit late though. Where is the scream? There it is. Vicro still very tanky, surviving for now. Can he survive? Absolutely not. Boots gonna claim it, but they get the instant return kill onto Pistol PD. The next one to fall is gonna be Krios, taking away to those fatal bonds as they pick up Boots on the sidelines, and this Firestorm is gonna spell his demise as they get the carry Tiny Vicro. They commit a Ravage and a Sonic Wave, and they answer right back with 3 kills on the side of top bots. I don't think that was worth it.
No hesitation from Spenguin. Immediately, Fiend's Gates up to the top lane.
Yeah.
Is able to punish this move, and they do manage to take out the Tiny. But I mean, you lose 3 heroes, you blow 2 big ultimates on it. It's like, is it worth it? And you lose the top tower to boot.
Yeah, and it all goes back to like the one part of that entire fight that made it all happen is that fast avalanche. And you could argue to say it was a bit of a mistake for FA to kind of stack up like that. I feel like they can approach from a few different angles to prevent that from happening. But that maxed out avalanche doing so much, just kind of the constant mini stuns just disrupting Krios' ability. I kind of would have liked to see him just ravage immediately, but I guess he just got a bit greedy with holding it.
Yeah, this is Viker's doing some interesting things on this Tiny. He's left 1 point in the tree grab, and he's maxing. I believe maxing Avalanche. Yeah, he's maxed Avalanche. Probably going for Toss next. So, choosing to play it very differently to how we've seen it be very strong. So, perhaps not even going for the Shard.
Yeah, no, that's a little too crazy, right? I think he's still gonna go for the Shard. I just think
not at the 15-minute timing that we usually see the priority placed on it.
True, but with the way he's been farming heroes, I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to get it still. But yeah, so top of the net worth, and he's going for the Orchid. And I think I might have a read to this max Avalanche build. Not only is it going to cause a lot of disruption to all these long cast point heroes, especially the 2 supports, right? It also is going to be additional magic damage that is amplified by this Orchid, right?
Yeah, that's true, actually. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
I like that. Oh. Bottom lane, Shakiro. Oh, gets hit by the arrow. Nice connection
Nicely
from
done by Rex.
They're going to take a lot of damage.
Yeah, Shaq Sparrow laying into them. They get the Shakiro, but no Ravage to work with for Krios for now. Walks into the Pit of Malice, and Shaq Sparrow can't decide who he wants to hit. Ends up losing track of that not the Tidehunter, sorry, the Underlord, but manages to pick up the Warlock. Meanwhile, they're still trying to chase on the Spenguin, but in the mid lane, Boots gets a solo kill onto Dogo. What happened there?
I'm not sure. It looks like the ulti was used,
Yeah, I
but
mean, a little bit
that's a
close.
very nice kill. And now look at Boots' net worth.
Yeah, they managed to get the swap off of the Penguin as well. He doesn't get the TP out, but he has the Fiend's hit. Here he goes. Is there damage? Absolutely not. He TPs straight back to a safe little spot, and he gets himself back onto home turf. Oh, the last little auto attack from the bench flying in as well. But yeah, not much you can. Oh, it even has its own unique like little icon on the map. That's cool.
Oh, I haven't seen that before. This is perhaps my first time seeing Unreal actually played with the new ulti. So
yeah, it's
I
really
didn't realize
I've
had
tried
its
it
own-
only once, and I think it's really fun because I feel like it unlocks like it's like a Nature's Prophet TP, but your friends can use it as well.
Yeah, it sounds very good in concept in competitive games, actually, because obviously the communication is much better than PUBG's. Boots
Yeah.
versus Dugo, matchup happens again, but blink out.
Yeah, the Ravage is available. Not a lot of mana to work with though for Krios, and in fact, none at all. Only 15 to speak of at current moment. For a moment there, he was in fact 13 mana boy, but
13 mana boy.
literal 13 mana boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but things kind of quietening down for a bit ever since they kind of took that top tier one. It's not usually the tower that you see, but like we said, that conversion on the tiny pickoff actually allows them to open that up, and from there the Drow usually wants to go into the triangle, but might not be able to do that. But she's happy to kind of stay at bot for now. Moonlight Shadow is popped, and here comes the Warlock Golem straight onto the Drow. They want to punish her, but the positioning's pretty awkward for now. The Golem is gonna tank that multi-shot for now, but Shaq Sparrow gonna claim the kill on the Warlock again. They have the Ravage. They need to be careful. Dugo has the DD though, still laying in with the poison attacks. The break onto this Tide Hunter. He has to be careful. There's no Kraken Shell to help him, and the silence as well, and the magic damage. It is enough. The DD from Dugo doing the job, and Shakiro trying to run, but runs straight into an arrow. Rex Cow lands it perfectly on his head. Okay, he has a swap though on Pistol PD. They need to be a bit careful because could swap them into the clutches of Captain Shaq. Now Captain Shaq has no mana to work with, and Vicro, he sees that the avalanche right behind him, nicely done, placed right in between, leaving them with no place to run, and that sets up yet another one for Rex Cow to pick up. This tower is more than likely theirs.
Yep, very nice fight for top bots. They recognize the strength. They have this Orchid Tiny. They managed to kill the Tide off before he gets Ravage. It was a nicely timed Orchid by Vicro to make sure he doesn't get off any Death Ravage. And from there, it's a bit of an awkward situation for Free Agent 2. You know, the Drow sticks around and gets duly punished. Very nice fight for them. Now 3k lead, and another tier 1 tower falls their way. Now all 3 tier 1 towers gone on the side of Free Agent 2.
Yeah, so Benj, I think I might have a read as to what's going on with the top bot's game plan. You want to hear my take?
Go ahead.
So, you know how we're like kind of not really chastising him, but we're kind of scratching our heads about this not traditional tiny build as I might not have time to explain it. Here comes a not dark pit. It's a pit of malice, but macro fire placed right on top of his head. There's the Ravage. Penguin not taking a lot of damage because he has that hood active. But on the back lines, Shakiro first one to die, and Krios tanking a lot of damage. They swap the Warlock in, but where is the follow-up? Pistol PD falling a little low, has a nice stick to keep himself alive, but there is Vicromon, the cleanup, baby. That's a freebie.
There he goes.
And they trade 2 supports for absolutely nothing as they take control of this bottom area.
Yeah. Nice couple of pickoffs. They just continue to roam around as 4 and 5 and just find kills. And yeah, I think the tiny build, going for, you know, Avalanche, Toss, Max with the Orchid, playing more as a mid tiny, going for the Blink next.
Yeah.
Is it just to jump the Drow?
No, so my
just the whole
read
thing?
is that, you know, Vicro is their mid player and Dugo is technically the carry, right?
Ooh,
So
yeah,
look at the item builds. It's mirroring that like Vicro is playing this Thompson tiny style of just running around and making the kills happen on the map, right? Because he has that control with him, and it's allowing Dugo to go for this DPS build. Because if you kind of go for let's say if you go for Rod of Athos on this Viper, which is something you could have realistically gone for, that really halts your own progression, right? But with this kind of attack damage build, this Viper can actually scale pretty well into the late game and might even be able to push a timing against this Drow before she comes online, right?
Yeah, I love the idea. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Just sort of. So why do you think they did this? Is this to dodge the? I mean, is Tiny versus Quap a particularly bad matchup in the mid lane?
I don't think so. I just think that they picked this Viper all along with the intention of running it mid. They just kind of were seeing whether they need an off laner or a Viper in the end. And I mean, they spent a lot of bans on mid laners, and honestly, we were kind of curious as well. It didn't really feel like any of the picks were gonna be that good. Like, you park into a silence, into an ice path, all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of okay with the way that they ran this. I think Tiny mid is a bit outdated. Now you kind of want to run it carry. And I mean, he is carry, but he's just playing a lot more active, right?
Yeah, he's got an interesting build. I'm curious to see what he goes after the blink. To be honest, I mean, but this is pretty classic Viper. He has the shard. He did.
Yeah.
Shard. Interesting choice with just 1 point in the tree grab. But...
I'm sure he's gonna start pumping it in, but I think I mean the max on both these abilities means anyone, even Krios just dies.
Yeah. Big boy Philly for the Radiant team, always a very nice item to have. Whenever I'm a support and I see that Philly, it's just oof.
Just lick your lips and rub your hands together.
Get at least another item off of that.
Yeah.
Or maybe not, but it feels like it.
Yeah. As long as you're feeling good about it. I mean, it's just a nice item to have as a support. You just feel like, you know, even if you die a few times, you're like, it's fine. I got my Philly.
I got my you know.
Okay.
Maybe if you're feeling generous, give it over to your carry while they're dead. But
yeah. That's the true support move right there. Moonlight Shadow popped to get Penguin out of that situation, but really there wasn't anything to sort of get out of. In fact, I'd argue to say free agents were a bit more scared than top bots were. And Chikiro
be in trouble.
Shows himself.
Penguin
they
holds
don't see a
a
little bit of hesitation there. Could have netted them a kill on this Chikiro, but I mean, I don't think they want to reveal themselves like that. They probably want a higher value target.
Yeah, and they have just used the Moonlight Shadow, so I mean they do have a smoke. So if they had intel that this Quap was here, could maybe make a smoke move towards. But it looks like Quap's going to TP out, and they're just going to be content sitting on free agent side of the map and just sort of limiting the space that they can move about and farm in.
Right, okay, so I just got this message in chat that says, careful with the Fiend's Gate, enemies can use it too. I did not, I forgot about, no, I think I knew, but I forgot about it. So like, that's why just now, when Spenguin sent the gate right straight back to base, right, like, I think some of the members of FA were looking at that gate and they're like, should we do that? Nah, probably not. Yeah,
I mean, I think... so if you use Fiend's Gate, can you see the other one? So for example, if you're on an enemy team and you just like see one place down, can you see where the other one is?
I think we have to check that. I think we have to check that because I'm not entirely sure. I think it should be able to be seen because that would just make sense, right? Because then you can kind of know where you're going instead of him sending you back into your fountain or something. That would be fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would be quite funny.
Yeah, if he just suicides and then you just follow him and then. It's like a reverse Dark Rift, sends you back to base instead.
Yeah, or you go back to your own fountain or Underlord, and then people come through it, they instantly get killed by it.
Yeah, but I mean, no one.
Execution strategy.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so let's get back to talking a bit about the game state right now. It's been a bit quiet, but mostly because top bots have just been controlling this bottom area of the map. Look at the wards. We got one in the mid lane spotting out any potential moves, one on this cliff, so nowhere in the jungle can kind of be encroached upon, and there's one covering each entrance. So they're really starting to push the issue here, and it's forcing FA2 to really clump up into this ball. And as much as we talked about they're strong when they clump up into a ball, they're really not getting much on the map anymore.
Yeah, you're starting to see it as well in the
okay.
It's just sort of steadily.
They've caught Chikiro, but a nice ice path straight onto two supports. Here comes the magic missile. Pianic has the ultimate available, but can't throw it out at the time. And the Ravage catches them. Spenguin, does he go through the Fiend's Gate? He's trying to channel it, but the swap is there. But here comes Vicromon. He's in the party, but they don't see him. No detection at the moment. And Boots, the silence of the Queen of Pain. She's gone. Atos is there, and the rest of the side of FA2, they need to run Shaq, trying to do the damage where he can. Here comes the marksmanship procs, and the Venge bow boosting the damage. The last hit is enough for Doomgo, trying to get out of dodge, but okay. No, they can't find it. And okay, is it enough that, no, not at the moment, but Spenguin, no ability at the moment, and there is the blink, catches him on the money, and trying for a arrow but doesn't have it off cooldown. And overall, a really sick fight from the side of the top bots. I mean, it looked a bit dicey for them because both supports got caught by that brilliant ice path by Chikiro, but it didn't end up mattering in the end. Spenguin buys back and TP's in, and Vicro, he's looking at your high ground. 1 hit, 2 hit, and he's gone. And cheers as well.
That would be huge.
They're still trying to chase the issue, but okay. Yeah, the swap and the stun out onto the Warlock Golem means no chase, but Athos into a stun. Though. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna force the issue. They're just hitting away at this tower, and no drow.
But looks more interested in the tower, as he should be. 23 minutes. Tier 3 tower on the bot lane goes down.
Yeah, this is looking really scary, and this is the tiny that you talked about, right? Starting to ramp up. Looking at this BKB Nyx, but one thing I'm starting to worry about for the side of top bots is the armor. They don't have any armor boosting items at the moment. This didn't go for something like a medallion. She is going for a Greaves though, but this would be considered a little bit of a late build-up. And this Warlock has gone for a Holy Locket and the Aghanim Shard Shadowbird AoE instead. So there's not going to be a lot of armor, even though you're getting healed up. Like we saw just now, Dougal very close to falling because of that pure amount of physical damage coming out.
Oh,
okay. They found him.
I mean, he can just turn onto the quad, but...
Okay, he's tanking quite a bit of damage though. Where's the backup for Vicro? There's the Scream, and there's the Sonic Wave, and it finishes him off. That's the tiny down 50 seconds. They got eyes on the Spenguin too. Has the Fiend's Gate, but can't get it off in time. And this could open up Roche for the side of FA2. Invisibility rune denied by Boots as they want to give chase. Catches him with the ice path. And now the slow out as well. The stun surely to follow from Pistol PD. Wants to throw it out. There it is. Magic Missile. And there's the Viper straight into the ground. They're not even done just yet. Boots blinking forward. But has he gone a little too far? I think he'll be A-okay with that Kaya Sanj status resist.
Ooh, Rexcow has the arrow.
Nah, not gonna throw it. Oh, that's gonna give away the ward, but a little hesitant, not wanting to throw it out. But there's Pianic getting jumped on as well. FA showing no hesitation in their jumps, and they're starting to really punish Pianic, but he's gonna get away with that healing from the Holy Locket.
You need to split.
Yeah, Vicro, but here is Shaq Sparrow still available, and there's the Ravage. Where's the backup? There's no rock. Vicro, he's dead. There literally is no more rock because he's gonna die for a second time. And there's no backup from the side of top bots, caught in between bleeding kills. And FA2, they positioned themselves back in a good spot to come out even. Only 3k gold lead up. And we're talking about how this tiny is so terrifying. But Shaq, Sparrow, and Boots, they survived throughout this entire fight, Bench.
Yeah, you mentioned the no armor pickup on the side of top bots, and we see it there. When this Drow is able to just freely hit away in the fight, she does so much damage. And yeah, a huge pasture play there for free agents too. And they're right back in this game now.
Yeah, and I think, I mean, like we said, this Viper went for a DPS build, went for the Gleipnir as well. But we're starting to see it. The Drow simply outranges you, and the side of FA, they simply have better tools to get their Drow to a safe position and get you out of position, right? You're this Viper, you're getting swapped in, you're getting stunned, you're getting ravaged in the vicinity, you're getting ice path. It's really hard for you to fight. Now, they smoked. I'm not sure whether that was spotted by a ward, but seeing this courier come out, if they're paying attention, they should know something's on its way. Now, FA2, do they want to set up for a fight and break the smoke here on Boots?
Okay. I mean, you don't have the Ravage, but Sonic Wave, you have Swap.
Oh!
You still have Macropyre as well.
Pianic walks a bit too close to the tower and gets the smoke pop, but they think someone's in the vicinity. So Rexcow jumps forward, but it's gonna find absolutely nothing. Here comes...
Gate.
Yeah, Fiend's Gate. But it's right in vision, so they just ditch. It feels starting to feel a bit like desperation moves from the side of top box. They've run back into the Fiend's Gate and they found Pistol PD. That is a pick off for free on that bench. And looking at Krios now, Chikiro spotted as well. And oh, okay, a Warlock Golem just for the Chikiro. But maybe they just wanted to take Roche, right?
It could be. Let's see if they go for it. They're gonna farm some camps here. And yeah, Viper walking straight in. It looks like Roche next on the menu. And I guess that's another benefit of the Fiend's Gate. If you throw an up to the top side, FA2, as we saw there, just sort of back out from that area, and then you just go back through the Fiend's Gate and corner them.
Yeah, that was a really cute little use because they were retreating, but they didn't retreat in unison, and that allowed them on the side of top bots to get that pick off onto the bench and open up the way for more. From there, it was kind of awkward for them to go back into their own high ground, and Now it's Aegis for the Tiny, so we won't be seeing anything like we saw for the past 2 minutes.
An immediate smoke up.
I'm not really sure where they want to go with this. Maybe another pickoff? But this feels like incredibly telegraphed because I feel like if I'm FA2, I'm just cowering at my tower right now.
Yeah, I think... I mean, even though we were talking about how much damage this Drow does, probably not enough to take down this Tiny twice.
Yeah,
Tiny obviously still has a lot of armor.
Yeah, so this Shaq Sparrow has the Shadow Blade completed and working his way towards the Silver Edge. I mean, how much do you think that's going to help?
I mean, it's going to be really good against the Tiny, right? Doesn't it disable the bonus armor from Grow, the break?
I would assume so.
Yeah. So then you'd be looking at Tiny with 24 less armor for the duration of the break. He's going to be food.
That's true, but I mean, as we've seen so far, for the most part, as soon as the Drow starts hitting away on the Tiny, he kind of looks like food anyways.
That is, you make a good point.
Yeah, I mean, Shaq has been so on point with his positioning, right? Barely ever caught out, only died. Oh, as I say that. As I say, that was a little monka right there. Oh, there's a Fiends. They're going through. Spenguin. Oh, the Gus, a swing and a miss there. And, I mean, they're gonna gush him for good measure, but he's gonna just... It's a nice little shower on the way out. Vicro jumps forward. Was probably looking for a toss back, but if there's someone you don't want to toss into your entire team, it's a Tidehunter.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, free initiation? You shouldn't have.
Yeah.
Don't even need to use my blink.
He's like, Vicro, you gotta do my job for me. Very, very kind, very kind. But yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised it took them so long for the teams to go into Roche. I feel like, I mean, this team on the side of FA could have taken it at many points in time, but I mean, the overwhelming amount of map pressure coming out from the side of top bots is, I mean, got them cowering, and rightfully so. Look at Vicro. Not a force to be reckoned. I'm a force to be reckoned with right now. Shaq, all you can do is throw out the multi-shot. But there is the AOE Shadow Word coming into play, just healing up the entire creep wave and the team as well. So now outer tier 2 towers taken, and 6k gold up for top bots.
Yep. Viker has the BKB, still has his Aegis for another 2 minutes 30. Do you think it's high ground time? Oh, and 3 bounty runes. Viker are gonna walk right past the...
Yeah, I mean, no one care bounty runes. Viker has more important things.
He wants the illusion rune.
It kind of looks like they want to go high ground. This Underlord is trying to build up an AC, which I really like. Although I feel like that could have been on the Tiny, but I guess they just want to make this Underlord like a complete aura bot, right? And look, so they're just pumping in the auras. They are death balling themselves. They have a Vladimir's offering on this Mirana, change that over from the Guardian's Greaves, and allowing the Warlock to build that instead. So I like this a lot.
Oh, the Wraith Pact is what the Mirana has queued up. And, yep, exposed lane of barracks.
Vicro running in, has the silence, but Shaq gets out of dodge.
Krius could be in trouble.
There's
so much damage
Krius! And I mean, it's another toxin. We talked about it. We didn't think we were going to see anything come out of it, but the Tidehunter, they confidently picked it into this Viper, and they pay the consequences.
No swap to save.
Oh, and ulti onto 3. I don't know whether anything's gonna mount from that, but it does make a lot of space. Fatal Bonds onto 4. This could be huge if they take a fire boots. Force to pop the BKB just to run back into the fountain, and this is not what you want from FA2. They sweep the Rex out for free. Sure, they throw a rock for it, but they're more than happy with how they spend that Aegis. Still 1 minute on the clock, and they could look towards the second lane.
You can just go right again. You've still got the Aegis for another minute. All of your key cooldowns still up. I mean, you don't have rock, fine, but all your BKBs are up, you know.
Okay, to be fair, the rock
have the silver edge though.
To be fair, the rock is a really, really big deal. Now, if they can try and get an angle onto Dougal and swap him into his demise, that's where things can get kind of scary. You see Shaq Sparrow already dodging around, but here comes Vicro with the toss in. No BKB on the quad, like you said, and Boots falling low. The Ravage, it's too late. The buyback immediately from Boots, though. He wants to play, and Spenguin, he's gonna fall. No Fiend's Gate out of this for now. Vicro still has the Aegis for a while, but Pistol PD gonna fall on the side. There's the Sonic Wave from Boots, doing the damage into Doggo, but the Viper pumping out as well. There is no help, but 2 more buybacks used for the side of FA just to stabilize that fight. And Vicro gets out alive. Aegis not even expended, although it's going to expire in 20 seconds. But I think for the side of top bots, they're not going to be too sad about that one, but it does cost them the Viper, which is the big kill.
I think he just went in a little bit far there. Just maybe caught in a position he wasn't expecting. And there's a DD rune top. And they're going to hand this over to Captain Shaq Sparrow. They're going to even bottle it up. Nice team play.
Pro players.
So, I mean, maybe they can take something here. No Viper for another 40 seconds.
I mean, their literal 2 wave clear heroes are both dead, so they could definitely look
Yeah.
towards something here. Shaq, not a lot of mana to work with, like you said, but with the DD and now Clarity flying out, can really start to lay into these buildings.
Yeah, not choosing to use the DD. Perhaps they're not thinking about high ground. They just want to take this tower, maybe save the DD for a fight somewhere down the line. And yeah, it looks like they'll just push in this wave and back off. Viper coming back up in 10.
They don't want to get greedy, and they need to answer this wave in the bot side. I feel like the scary part is if Boots comes back and shows on this wave, and then there's still people in the mid, that's where top bots can really strike. So they back off together. I think this is a good move. Just being measured in their play, not getting too greedy. And yeah, I mean, there still is that huge teamfight potential like we saw from the side of FA2, right? With their big teamfight abilities with the Ravage, the Ice Paths, the Sonic Waves. They can still really make it happen.
Captain Shaq's arrow is stuck?
Oh.
Oh, has it by the T-feed into a tree spot. Had to buy a pack of tangas to get himself free. Going for the shard.
I mean, it's pretty good against Tiny, right? Reducing regen per stack and deals magic damage, pretty good.
Yeah, especially in these fights where Strauss just sort of able to hit onto multiple heroes. Seems very effective. In that
I'm surprised that he doesn't want the Hurricane Pike, because I feel like the Pike can get him out of sticky situations, particularly the pit. But I mean, so far Shaq has been on point with the positioning, so I don't think he's too worried about that. Now this could be the clash that decides the game. They're on top of Ward right now. They should see it. They're smoked up though, so they're gonna get the jump. Here's the blink forward from Krios, but they don't see it. The immediate Silver Edge break onto Dougal, but the BKB is there, and Shaq Sparrow, the positioning, he's gone. That's the trial out of the fight, and Shakiro is the next one to fall. Spenguin has thrown out a Fiend's Gate back to base, but that is just for decorative purposes, just flexing on them at this point, and jumps back in just to see the final kill. 3 down, and that looked like it could have been a miracle fight for FA, but it ends up flopping on its head.
Yeah, huge damage from Vicro. Has the Moon Shard complete now, so attack speed way up, damage way up, and yeah, we mentioned it, just like this Drow's positioning, not in the right position. And bought out for the shard, so no buyback.
But this feels so bad, because literally one positioning mistake, and they know it too. They're sensing it. Vicro wants to put an end to it. Spenguin coming forward as well, and Dougal is there. The heals are more than enough from Pianic, and Pistol PD, he's gonna drop. The Tide has buyback, he's still holding it, but he doesn't have a Ravage, so what can he do? Boots. The BKB not even off cooldown, and your Ancient is falling. This game, this series, Benji, it's over.
Over. Top bots take it a little bit back and forth. They had the early laning advantage, lost it a bit. Some really nice fights from Free Agent 2, but in the end they just had too much. Yeah. Congratulations to top bots. They'll be moving on. Commiserations to Free Agent 2. They will be out of the competition.
Yeah, but I mean, really nicely played series from both teams, of course. And I think even though the score might not look it, I think I can speak for myself. That game was really anyone's. I think Shaq played a perfect game until that last moment where it all fell apart. It was the one fight where Shaq walked up that cliff away from the Tidehunter, and Krios using the blink, but blinks kind of stationarily on the low ground and can't get a good Ravage off, and that just allows top bots to just swarm the Drow as soon as they see her. BKB's popped by Dougal as well as Vicro, and they just eat her up.
16k building damage that game for the Tiny. Whew. That's the Tiny hero for you. Yeah, really well played all around. I thought that was a great game. But yeah, as you mentioned, top bots, they will be moving on to the next round. Take the series 2-1 after this.
Yeah, a
little delayed best of 1, but yeah.
Okay, so it looks like Rex wants to do an interview, so let's hop in and do a quick interview with him. Okay, switching over. Okay, so man, what a nice little game to get us back. I always feel like WLDL games end up being pretty exciting. Like, there was no point in time where that felt Resident Sleeper, even when they kind of were choking out the... Hello, Rex. Congrats on your win.
Thanks, man. I think I got Pianic coming too.
Okay, sure. I'll bring the whole squad. Who cares? Vibes.
Yeah, I don't know if the whole team's coming. It looks like I might have one or two. But anyway, thanks for casting. It was fun. I'm glad we pulled out the win.
Yeah, I'm happy for you as well. I mean, this was a long time. I mean, I'm gonna wait for your teammates to come to ask the questions, but I mean, the tensions must have been high because you guys had so much time between the first two and this one. You really kind of set it up to be a nail biter, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's just we're all got so many crazy schedules, so it was tough to schedule this, but we finally did it, and I'm glad that we pulled out the win, and because they were a really tough fight the last couple of games.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't make that game easy either. I feel like definitely felt like, if they just could land a nice like Ravage and an Ice Path follow up, then it would be curtains for you guys because it's not a lot of save, right?
No, that was one thing we were definitely talking about in the draft. Is like we had lack of save, but we felt like with sustain from Warlock, and if we could just land a few good arrows, and if Underlord could get a few good pits, it'd be okay.
Very fitting of a captain to put the burden on his shoulders. If we can just land a few good arrows, and you had such a yeah, and you did. You had such a good. Okay, so here we have the rest of the team of top bots, I believe, coming in for an interview. Would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, you bet. Spanguin, I've been playing in WLDL for a while, and I was playing the Underlord.
Okay. What about you, IN394?
Yeah, so I was Pianic playing as Warlock.
Okay, nice. So, my name is Permasneeze. You can call me Mike, and I have
Hey.
Benji here. We were casting. First of all, okay, so this is the official interview, I guess. Okay, so first of all, big congratulations to you guys. I mean, you guys made it. I was telling Rex this just now before y'all hopped in, but y'all really kind of set it up to be a huge nail biter with the way this last game was delayed.
You bet.
Yeah.
Did you guys feel any of that kind of pressure coming in? Because you had such a long time to kind of look back at those games, right? And it was a 1-1 series thus far, so there's definitely a lot to learn both in the wins and the losses. Was there any special preparations, or do you guys feel like you guys dug into the replays, or any change that you made from like the previous time you played them to now?
Honestly, I would say that we took the draft a lot more serious. It was all business before the game, and Rex did a great job of drafting for us, so we felt like we had a lot of answers. And but I've definitely felt the tension as well. I love that final game messing the universe around, so no, I'm glad it turned out.
Yeah. What about you two? Do you guys have any particular thing to add to the whole, leading up to this, it all being tense and all that?
Well, go ahead, Ian.
No, I was gonna say like this is the least stressful thing in my life right now, so it's actually quite chill for me.
Oh man!
Like honestly, I think having the bit of the week between the first two games and that last game was actually good for us because we maybe didn't play too well in the second game, so we just had a bit of time to like clear our heads and, like you said, think about the draft and just approach it in a better way. And I think it really paid off in that game.
Yeah, beautiful. So okay, carry on. Sorry.
No, just speaking of the draft, yeah, absolutely. We were not. After the second game, it was a very long 2 games. We were not in a good mindset. We were kind of a little tired, and it kind of really worked out. And then, I don't think we've played Underlord this entire draft. We certainly haven't played Marana, and even though Warlock is an Ian special, he hasn't played it. We haven't been able to play it very much, if any. And I don't know about you and your pubs, but like Tiny is such a focal point right now.
Oh, Benji has a lot to say about that.
So much of the draft was, do we first ban Tiny, first pick Tiny? And then when it was in the second phase and we still saw it was available, it was like, well, hell, let's just get it now. I mean,
Yeah.
Especially with the Viper on our team too.
Yeah, I actually, Benj, do you have anything you want to ask at present moment?
Yeah, so it's actually about the Viper. You guys first faced this hero. Is this like something that you particularly value quite highly? Because I noticed that it was something that Free Agent 2 actually banned against you in, I believe, one of the games, in one of the first 2 games. So is this something that you're, like, kind of a big strategy point for you guys?
I guess I can answer that somewhat. We mostly just the break, honestly, meant that it took a lot of their heroes out of the pool, and we weren't sure if we were going to flex it to a 3 or what, so it gave us some flexibility and also limited some of their hero pool, is my understanding.
Yeah, I have to say when I saw it come in, it was like a bit surprising, but I really liked the way it sort of shook out in your draft in the end, I think.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, we just specifically things like Bristleback, Tiny. We're like, well, let's just first pick this hero that at least we know will not horribly lose the lane. Will probably win the lane, and puts pressure on them not to pick some of these other heroes that we know they like to play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned the break because one thing that me and Benji were surprised about in the draft is they saw your Viper and then they picked Tidehunter. What did you guys think about that pick?
Honestly, I was kind of scared of it. We had some magic damage, obviously, with the Underlord as an answer, but having Tide, we knew they wanted to fight us, and that's such an ability to turn a fight, and one good anchor smash means you're not doing any physical damage. So I was a little bit scared by it, and to be honest, I wanted to pick some other heroes too, but they were kind of eliminated by his ability to deal with that physical. So I thought the Tide was actually decent. Apart from the fact that the break does hurt him a bit.
Mm-hmm. And just what we learned from the last couple of games, this particular team loves like 5-man deathballing early, and a Ravage Tide is always just so scary to play into.
I mean, there are definitely moments where he popped that and it really looked like it was about to really go downhill for you guys, right? I feel like there were some moments in that game where when Krios managed to hit those Ravagers, it suddenly looked like they can just wipe you all out easily.
Totally. I was also scared of the swap into Ravage as well. So kudos to the Tide and the Venge too, because that put the fear of God in me a bit.
Okay. Well, okay. So one thing I want to ask is, so you guys kind of Vicro is a stand-in, right?
He's now promoted to the main.
Nice.
We've had people come and go, but he's now part of the main team.
Okay, so what's it like playing with Vicro? Because I'm not sure if you guys know this, but basically Benji and Vicro are old teammates from the one anchors. So they used to make up the support combo for in certain games
I didn't know that.
for the anchors, and also like I'm pretty close to the guys on the anchor, so that's why when we saw Vicro come in, we're like, yo. Yeah, so what's it like having him on the team?
It's great because Go on, Ian. Go.
No, I was gonna say, like, he's great. He knows a lot, and he's really not afraid to tell you you've messed up. Like, for me, like,
that's Vicro, baby.
Learning and developing, like, he's just like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that, but it's cool, and it's like, okay, cool, thanks.
No,
Honestly,
and he clearly is most familiar with like just bread and butter second to second strategy. So the draft was kind of like 60-40, like me and him, and then he pretty much makes all the major calls in the game.
Right.
Which is extra impressive because, I mean, playing one, focusing on last hitting, and then also deciding game state, that's not easy to do. So, yeah, he's definitely an asset.
Yeah, that's how I love it. Yeah, I love Vicro. I mean, that's kind of back when... I'm sure you felt the same way as well back when he was your teammate, Bench.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's just... I mean, you put it completely right in there. He's not afraid to tell you when you've messed up. But it's never like in a personal way. Yeah,
no, it's up to you to take that the wrong way, really.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Yeah. And he doesn't give up. I mean, like in the game, it's kind of like all of us sometimes can be a little negative. It's like, oh no, man, I don't know, we may have lost it. But even if things are negative, he doesn't give up. And that's what I really like about this team. It's like even when things are
love
against the wall, we just never give up.
I'm sure he wasn't too happy when he fed twice in a row
though. No, he wasn't. Our team comms are mostly like 50% of our team comms are us all saying it's fine.
Yo, why does that sound like me and Benji's pops? Actually, what the shit? Okay, wait. Okay, one last thing about the strategy. Sorry to keep hammering on this, but I myself am a huge Underlord enjoyer, right? So up until the point of the last pick of the draft, I saw the Viper. I'm like, oh, they can kind of put it on 3. They can kind of put it on 1. It's up to them. And then we saw the Tiny. We're like, okay, this Tiny is more than likely 1. We thought you were gonna pick a mid hero, and then out comes the Underlord. Now, my understanding of Underlord, when I see a Jakiro Drow lane, I'm like, I am going to eat shit. So, Spenguin, I want to know how you felt, because you're the Underlord player, right? I'm sure you... like, what kind of spurred this pick?
Oh, dude. Well, what spurred it is I needed somebody who could sustain a bit of magical damage, physical damage, and kind of counter the Venge with his passive E to take the just team damage down, or else we were going to blow up. And then I also, again, knowing they were going to team fight, wanted something that did some AoE control with a pit and some AoE damage. So, and also I wanted to try out his new alt. I haven't played it much,
Yeah,
so
we were
let
learning
that
things
rip.
about the ult in the game. So.
Yeah, no, dude. In that
Yeah,
last fight, that was kind of fucked up. What you did, where like you guys were literally killing them, then you just potted back to base and potted back just in time to see the last kill drop. That was.
I know. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna go south. And then by the time I got back, I'm like, oh, it's all fine. Fuck. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, totally.
I mean, we were learning as well about the LT. We got like a chat message halfway through saying like apparently both sides can use the ult. So like
A what?
yeah.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
honestly, it only worked once very effectively where I happened to nab Viking at the correct moment. The other ones, I was like, it's a get out of jail free card if we get real stuck. But,
Yeah.
I actually, that's interesting that you mentioned that, because Bench and I completely glossed over the damage reduction aura. Like, that's a huge, because they death ball, right? So like the aura, you're in the middle of all of them and they just suddenly just all do a flat less amount of damage.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting stuff. Okay, Bench, you got any more questions for them?
I don't think so. Just congrats, guys.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
so do you
cast.
guys
Can't
know
wait
who
to
you're playing
watch.
next? Oh, don't
Yeah, I
worry.
really appreciate the cast, guys. Thank you.
We're going to play against free afternoon mercenaries, and we're actually trying to see if we can get the game going tonight. So we may have another match.
Oh.
Because we got to get caught up on time. We're so behind on the schedule.
Yeah, this is like first round low bracket, right? So
Yeah.
is it first round low bracket? Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, it's a casual league, but we got to move things along. So
yeah, you don't want to hold everyone up. That's fair enough. But yeah, I mean, if you guys
Yeah,
do
but-
play tonight, I'll be more than happy to. I'm not sure if Mike will be around to cast, but
Yeah.
definitely keep an eye on that.
Yeah, 2:30 right now, but it's okay. I don't know if it's still later on tonight. I think that might break into morning for
it
me.
probably wouldn't be for like another 8 hours or so, but we'll check. We'll keep everyone everyone updated on the Discord.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but thank you so much, guys, for coming and answering our questions. And really happy for you guys. I've never been in that position before, but I can't imagine what it's like to have that build up of that tension and just come out on top. So big congrats. I'm sure you guys deserve to win, and GG's. Good luck for your next series.
Thank you very
Thanks, man.
much. Oh,
Thanks
Thank you
also,
very much.
Justin,
And- Yeah, thanks for casting. Congratulations to Region 2. You guys played really tough this series.
Yeah.
So
you bet.
yeah.
Okay, GG. We're gonna hop off. Thank you, guys.
See you.
Thank you guys. See ya.
Cheers.